Everybody, this is CM Punk, and you're listening to the Ringside Report.
This is Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Daniel Bryan, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Rob Van Dam. You're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He's Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. Here on TSN 690 every Saturday night, talking professional wrestling. Follow Johnny North on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. Twitter at North Genesis. You can follow me on both at Dave Simon MMA. And of course, go subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. YouTube.com/RingsideReport.net. YouTube.com/RingsideReport. DOTNET. Big things always happening on our YouTube channel. Do subscribe. It helps us a lot. And we were on yesterday afternoon, as we are every Friday for Dave and Johnny Live. And we will be on once again next Sunday after WrestleMania, because we are 1 week away from WrestleMania. Johnny North and I will be live on the YouTube channel right after Mania, recapping what will be a 7-hour spectacle. And I know, Johnny North, you're already going to complain about how long the show is. That's been your thing. Like, that is your thing about the WWE in general, and especially for WrestleMania. I feel the dread for this event from you, and I've felt it for the past several weeks. You are not looking forward to WrestleMania, mostly because of how long it will be. And it will be roughly 7 hours. So far, 13 matches on this card are official.
Well, this week they gave me reasons to like WrestleMania a bit more. I find now I'm a little bit more interested in the main event now of the triple threat. I'm a bit more interested now that we have it for sure, Daniel Bryan, Kofi. That's the match I wanted to see. To me, that's the most intriguing match on the whole show. And I'm kind of glad that it's going to be Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, just straight up like that. To me, that's kind of a dream match. And I really want to see how that's going to play out.
It's a very good match. Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, that was made official this week on Smackdown. That's a very good match. There's a lot of really good stuff on this card. Is it the most stacked WrestleMania we've ever seen? No. But it is a decent wrestling show with a lot of big matches that mean a lot, where you're not really sure where they're going to go. And, I mean, it's WrestleMania, right? So anything can happen, and anybody could show up. It's the biggest show of the year for the WWE, and they're going to go big. The main event was made official this week. It will be Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair. Last match on the card, women main eventing WrestleMania for the first time ever. Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, will be defending. But will she be the only champion defending? Charlotte Flair won the SmackDown Women's title in a match against Asuka that even the commentary team seemed surprised was happening.
For the title, yeah.
It was weird that it just kind of happened. And it happened, and Charlotte beat Asuka, which I don't think is a great idea as far as the SmackDown Women's division goes, because now they're left without a champion. Asuka's left without a match for WrestleMania. We were supposed to have a fatal four-way to determine a number one contender. It was supposed to be Naomi, Carmella, Mandy, and Sonya, with the winner facing Asuka for the title at WrestleMania. That's what they had previously announced for SmackDown this week. When it came time for show, there was no fatal four-way. It was just Asuka defending her title against Charlotte Flair.
And she lost. It was still a great match. But
Very good match, but
she lost, yeah.
So, I think this is a bad move. I think this is a bad move because, A, you're taking away a main event from women. So you're helping them. On the one hand, you're saying, look, women are main eventing WrestleMania. Look at all this stuff we're doing for women's wrestling. And then at the same time, you're saying, yeah, well, whatever. This whole group of women that works really hard, that is very talented, none of you are really going to get any kind of spot at WrestleMania. Maybe you'll be in the Women's Battle Royal, and that's pretty much where you're all going to be because we need people in that match, right?
100%, yeah.
So Asuka, a great champion, just gets the belt taken away from her. Naomi, an amazing wrestler, she's just lost in the shuffle. Carmella, who's done so much this year, nothing really. Sonya and Mandy, 2 acts that they're trying to get over, Not to mention Nikki Cross, who's one of the most talented performers on their roster, who's not even used. Right? So you have this whole group of women that are not really being respected. And the WWE is trying to say that they're really trying to push women's wrestling. Well, you just took both your titles and put them in one match. And to have just one women's champion, I think is disrespectful because you're saying, well, look, the men, we can have 2 champions. You can have a champion on each brand with the men. Sure, Daniel Bryan could be the champion on SmackDown and Brock Lesnar could be the champion on Raw, and that's fine. But the women, just one champion.
Well, you're jumping the gun a bit here. It's not for sure this is going to be all the titles on the line here.
Sure, but all the titles are in the same match.
Right.
And that's kind of the same thing.
In a sense, they just dropped the match. That's all they really did, right? And when you think about it, did anyone really want to see Asuka against any of them, really? It wasn't a very intriguing match. We already saw Asuka versus Mandy Rose, and that was horrible at the last pay-per-view.
Sure. None of those options really seem like a big match. But I think that's the WWE's fault, the lack of direction for Asuka, who's an extremely talented performer who just, it's not happening.
Well,
she won the first ever Women's Rumble last year.
Right.
You look at the Rumble winners from last year, where they are this year. It's crazy. Where's Nakamura?
He was losing in a gauntlet match to New Day.
Pretty quickly, too.
Yeah, well, that's his spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, yeah, it's terrible, but that's the way it worked out. With Asuka, I told you it didn't make any sense with the whole her beating Becky. And if they're just going to put the title in the match anyways, it really made no sense. I don't know why they decided to change this, but I guess to make the match more important.
I think they were also trying to negate the wins of Asuka over Charlotte and Becky by having Charlotte beat Asuka just before the big match. Because we were going into this saying, yeah, well, didn't Asuka just she beat Becky? She made Becky tap.
Yep.
When she faced her one-on-one, she made her tap. She beat her clean. And then when she faced both of them in a TLC, she beat them both. So this is kind of them getting one of their wins back so they could go in saying, oh, Asuka's not really more deserving of this match.
Well, also, it felt like
storyline-wise,
Yeah, but it felt like Charlotte was also kind of not necessary for this match. That it was really should have just been Ronda versus Becky. Charlotte's just kind of the third wheel, just thrown in there.
Yeah.
This kind of gave importance to why Charlotte should be in there.
No, but this match has always been Charlotte versus Ronda. That's what they were going to do for a long time. This has been the plan. And Becky getting so hot and becoming such a huge star, I think, has elevated both Charlotte and Ronda and this match. I don't know if they'd be in the main event of WrestleMania if Becky Lynch wasn't such a superstar and hadn't made herself such a star over the past year. But Becky's the one that's kind of worked her way into this match. Charlotte and Ronda has always been the plan.
Well, you always need a good rival, right? And it just works out where Becky's just a good rival for both of them. So it just works like that. But I also find when you put 2 titles in this makes it interesting because how is this going to work? Is it going to be the Raw titles on the line and the SmackDown titles on the line? Can we have a unified champion? Or you can only win one championship? It's very interesting. I find it's more interesting than before, that's for sure.
I think if she's the champion, we're already here. Charlotte's the champion. You got to put your title on the line. I mean, if it's a main event of WrestleMania, it's Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. All the titles on the line. Let's go. Let's go 100%. Why say, oh, no, just the Raw Women's Championship's on the line? Unless, the plan down the road is, for Charlotte to just be that SmackDown Women's Champion. And she'll stay on that brand. Becky will be the Raw Women's Champion. She'll stay on Raw. And Ronda will be here and there.
Yep. I could see that. Why not?
Maybe that's why they put the title on Charlotte, because they're just trying to set up post-Mania. That makes a lot of sense.
You could also have Mania end it where you have all the 4 horsewomen with championships. Sasha, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte all are champions. It could end like that, WrestleMania.
Yeah. And a lot could be said about who really made this happen, this women's evolution, as they call it. This big moment, which is women being the last match on the show at WrestleMania. I think the people that really made this happen are Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley. Before them, it wasn't about women's wrestling. They really pushed it forward with what they did in NXT. Those 4 have created this new wave of women's wrestling in WWE that's taken over, that's become the main thing in the biggest wrestling company in the world. It's those 4.
I felt it started with Paige, but they definitely helped it continue in the right direction. And Ronda, again, it just continued in the right direction where they got an even bigger star than all of them. And Ronda just had that mainstream appeal.
Without Ronda, I don't know if they get the main event. Ronda is a superstar.
Things just all fell into place quite well for this. And in the end, I think this is fantastic that it's a triple threat match because there's 2 champions involved. You don't know how it's going to go now.
Maybe if Charlotte gets pinned, she loses her title. If Ronda gets pinned, she loses her title.
I like that. I don't think you should make it a unified. I mean, still keep the Raw and SmackDown because I think there's more than enough women, right, to have individual champions.
Yeah, I think if you do unify it, you split it up right away because you're going to need a champion. The Raw champion could say, I'm not going to SmackDown. I'm not defending this title on SmackDown, and then SmackDown could say, okay, well, we're going to bring back the SmackDown women's title then.
Well, we say this, but Becky and Charlotte are on Raw and SmackDown anyways, right? So does it really matter that there's 2 championships? Maybe there should just be 1 champion.
Yeah, but why do the women have to deal with just 1 champion? There's a set of tag team belts. There'd be 1 women's champion now? Where Raw has, how many men's champions? It's not fair. Because a championship is a great way to elevate a performer. Championships are good to have. Look, Raw has a set of tag team champions, so does SmackDown for the men's side. There's an Intercontinental Champion and U.S. Champion. There's a Universal Champion and WWE Champion. There are 6 sets of championships for the men right now in the WWE. Currently, there are half that for the women. There are tag team titles, and there's a women's title on Raw and a women's title on SmackDown. And now we're talking about cutting even more, having just 2 champions for the women in the WWE. I don't think that's right. Well, unless you introduce a women's Intercontinental title or something and you do it that way, I don't know. But I like the idea of unifying the championships because then whoever's the champion is elevated and put on both brands, and it isn't a bad thing for that person. But the rest of the division, I think, suffers. Like the SmackDown's women's division suffering now without Asuka being there to defend a title.
Well, as of right now, they haven't decided what's really going to happen with the SmackDown Women's Championship, right? I hope they just put all the titles on the line, but that doesn't necessarily mean the winner walks away with both championships. It just means if Charlotte gets pinned, she loses her championship. Ronda gets pinned, she loses her championship. I hope it plays out like that.
We'll see what happens. But it was definitely a big move for the WWE this week, not only announcing that it will officially be the main event, which is something they don't announce usually beforehand. You just kind of find out as you're watching the card.
They never really do it.
They've never done it, I don't think. This is a PR move.
Except maybe when it's it's a WWE title match, so of course that's the main event, right?
Yeah. But we know what they're doing here, but that's okay. Because they're doing it anyway, so as long as they do it, it's fine, right? As long as they do the right thing, I don't really want to argue with them patting themselves on the back for doing it. It's fine. Pat yourself on the back, it's fine.
Well, because Charlotte winning the SmackDown Women's Championship happened, I feel now it's almost a guarantee Becky's going to win. because Charlotte took a lot of losses leading up to this.
Yeah.
So I think
this was a big win for her.
This was huge. She needed this in a sense.
Yeah.
So
I think Becky wins no matter what. If Becky was going to win, it's Becky's time. Becky's got to be on top. Everybody wants Becky to win. Becky will win. Unless Ronda wins. Like, I'm not convinced that Ronda's not going to win. Because it's Ronda. She could easily win. She's like Brock, you know? You think whoever babyface they throw at Brock is probably going to beat Brock, but then, nope, Brock walks away still champion.
Well, again, we don't know if this is going to be elimination style now. Does this mean, like, if Charlotte gets pinned, it's over? Does she win both championships, or does she only wins the SmackDown? Like, we don't know yet, right? So, this week of TV is going to be big.
One more week of TV before WrestleMania. WrestleMania is a week from tomorrow. Joan Jett, the famous rock musician, will be performing her song Bad Reputation. That's Ronda Rousey's theme song. She'll be performing that at Mania for Ronda's entrance. Now, Ronda has used this song many times in the past, not just in WWE, but in the UFC as well. This was her song. This is something that the UFC was never able to do. Get Joan Jett to sing Ronda out. The UFC should do this more often. It's cool when they do it. They did it maybe once, I think, with Conor McGregor. They had, like, Sinead O'Connor singing him out. And then they had the guy from Stained singing out Chad Mendes. You remember that?
Not so much, but well, I don't really care for that, so it's okay.
Anyways, it was cool, but now, WWE does it well, and they're going to have Joan Jett perform the Ronda song. Kind of like when the DX band performed Triple H's song when he came out, or Shawn Michaels, they did the DX song, remember at WrestleMania 14? That was awesome.
Drowning Pool, I think, did Triple H, too.
Yeah, but that's not his... It's not Motorhead. Has Motorhead performed for Triple H?
They did the cover.
Yeah, but it wasn't the real...
I think Motorhead actually did do it once.
I think they have, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But when you get the band or the person or whoever to perform the song that they do for your entrance, that's cool. Didn't Punk get In Living Color to do his song?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure they sang him out maybe to a Mania.
Taker got the Limp Bizkit. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, rolling. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Taker's not going to be at WrestleMania.
No Cena. No Taker. It's crazy. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania without them, you know?
Cena's got a new girlfriend.
That's cool. Kind of looks like Nikki Bella a bit, but yeah.
A little bit. He's got a type. It's all right.
Yeah, Italians is good.
Oh. Nikki's got a new boyfriend.
Yeah, but apparently, like, it's a boyfriend that she's also dating other people as well with. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Is it cool?
Well, it's good for the other dudes, you know.
I think it's
they get a chance at being Nikki Bella's boyfriend. That's nice.
I think it's good for the TV show. It makes more drama. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, good for Nikki Bella's career then too. Have these fake reality TV show boyfriends. That's great. It's good. It's good for ratings. Think of the ratings, John. So Ronda, Becky, Charlotte will main event WrestleMania. We have some other matches that were announced this week. Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, that was made official finally on SmackDown. New Day had to go through a gauntlet. So Kofi went through the gauntlet, didn't get it.
Right.
New Day had to go through it this week. They cut an in-ring promo. It was very good. Vince McMahon showed up. Daniel Bryan showed up. Bryan is saying you should let the New Day quit. They're a stale novelty act that you created, and you could make a new one. Bryan goes, take 3 guys from NXT, call them Fresh Afternoon, have them toss waffles in the crowd. New Day, get rid of them, no problem. I thought that was great. Fresh Afternoon, have them throw waffles. Just take 3 guys from NXT. Says Bryan says Kofi's a B+ player. And then Vince tells Kofi that he's always going to be a B+ player and wonders if Biggie and Woods are just a B+ tag team. And if they can win a gauntlet, then Kofi's at WrestleMania.
And they did it.
And they did it, kind of. They beat Gallows and Anderson. They beat Nakamura and Rusev. They beat The Bar. The Usos showed up and decided they don't even want to wrestle New Day. They got too much respect for him. They think Kofi deserves a spot. Wishes them luck, and they decide to forfeit their match, which I thought was a cool moment.
But it's not over.
And then Daniel Bryan and Rowan show up, and they're the last ones in the gauntlet, and New Day winds up beating them by countout when Big E rolled the announce table on top of Rowan. New Day wins by countout. Kofi's going to WrestleMania. Vince McMahon makes it official backstage. After the match, that's how SmackDown ends. Kofi wins. New Day wins. We will get Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. I don't think Kofi wins at Mania.
Yeah, I feel like he's not going to win either now because they overcame so many odds, and you feel like, oh, now finally they're going to do it, but they're not going to do it. You know?
Nope. They're going to keep him chasing, which is good. Because we have only scratched the surface with this Daniel Bryan Kofi Kingston thing. It's what I've been saying about this feud for so long. There's so much good stuff there, and you saw Daniel Bryan when he finally addressed Kofi Kingston in the New Day. He had good stuff to say. It could be funny. It could be serious. Daniel Bryan can take it in a lot of different directions. There's a lot of meat there. There's a lot of beef there, pal. And Bryan needs to really dig into that. Although I probably shouldn't be talking about meat with Daniel Bryan, but,
It's okay. He's a hypocrite. It's okay. Remember, they said he's a hypocrite.
That's okay. He likes vegetables. That's good. So he has a lot to say to the New Day, and I think the New Day have a lot to say to him. Right now, the feud has been about the New Day fighting against Vince McMahon and the WWE machine. I want to see Kofi Kingston and the New Day against Daniel Bryan and Rowan. That's what I want to see. That's the feud that I'm looking for, and we haven't really got that. We're going to get a little piece of it this week on TV, on SmackDown. We're going to get that match on WrestleMania, but I think we'll keep this feud going over the next couple of months at least. It'll be a pay-per-view or two before the Daniel Bryan Kofi Kingston thing is over. It may wind up with Kofi Kingston becoming WWE champion. It may not.
Well, I think a lot will be questioned because they're going to have the split right again.
The Superstar Shakeup.
Right.
In Montreal in 2 weeks.
Right.
Brother, I'm going to Raw and SmackDown in 2 weeks. That's pretty exciting.
It's awesome.
They got 2 more weeks of TV before it's my turn to watch TV live. Does that make sense? Watch TV live? Watch the live TV taping?
The live
WWE
TV,
Live.
The live TV taping? That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel New Day is going to get broken up in this. And it'll be done out of spite. Vince will do it on purpose.
Yes, he will draft them to separate shows. Kofi will be on his own. See how you can live without your buddies, pal. You got these 2 young bucks working with you. We called them young bucks a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they still are. Compared to him, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, but the term...
Oh, you don't like...
Well, because that's young bucks is what slave traders used to refer to African American men. Well, African men, really, they were slaves, right? Off the boat. So they'd refer to slaves as bucks. So for Vince McMahon to be talking to this African American group and to refer to them as young bucks as like an older white man who kind of owns them and has them under contract, people raised some eyebrows. It was like, what? And even New Day, like if you notice when he called them young bucks, like you saw Big E and Woods go like, what? Did he just call us? Like, what did he just say? I don't think Vince knew what he was saying. Maybe he did. I don't know. But there are definite racial undertones to this storyline.
Well,
and you add to the fact that there still has never been an African-American WWE champion. I mean, people point to The Rock, but he's half Samoan, and he doesn't really look like Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Your average look of an African-American guy. Rock has lighter skin. He looks, Samoan. His dad is, but...
I thought when he was saying Young Bucks, thought he was taking a shot at the AEW. But
yeah, I don't think that's what he was doing.
Okay.
I don't know what he was doing when he said that, but I definitely took notice, and I noticed Woods and E's face going like, what the hell did he just say? It was not an appropriate comment, especially in that promo. It was just not the right thing to say. But that's Vince. He said the N-word on TV.
He likes to be controversial, Vince. And sometimes he'll just say things because he feels like he can say it. And he can.
There's controversial and then there's wrong, you know? There's right and wrong, too. And I think he's wrong in a lot of this stuff.
He also said, like, The Undertaker is going to give his son, like, an effing beating, like, uncensored on TV.
Yeah. Well, that's different. And that's all right.
That's okay. You can be a psychopath. It's okay.
Well, you can swear, but you can't be racist, okay? That's my line. You swear all you want. I don't have a problem with bad words. Just don't be a racist. Or don't say racial things, because it's not cool.
Yeah, I just don't think Vince thought of it like that, I guess.
I don't think Vince is a racist either. He's like a big admirer of Martin Luther King. Like he's got pictures of him on his wall. Like he's really into him.
You see it all the time on Raw.
Yeah, they really push Martin Luther King Day, and there's a lot of that he. I mean, I'm not sure what to make of Vince. Really, he's
just outrageous, I think.
Yeah. So AJ Styles and Kurt Angle was supposed to happen on SmackDown this week. It did not. Because
kind of did.
Wow.
Officially it did.
For a couple of seconds, and then Randy Orton hit the RKO on AJ, and then Kurt Angle didn't like that, so he hit an angle slam on Randy, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually awful. It was a terrible angle slam.
I just liked that he picked Randy up and dumped him
horribly
on his back and neck.
It was bad.
It was good. I liked it. I liked the Samoa Joe match that Kurt Angle had on Raw this week. Angle beating Joe with a pinfall. I thought the match was very good. I like seeing these Kurt Angle retirement tour matches. Who's he wrestling on Monday and Tuesday? Is he going to wrestle again on both nights? Is he really going to wrestle Baron Corbin at WrestleMania?
You hope maybe it'll be changed, and yeah, he'll wrestle Corbin on Monday, but more than likely not. I'm expecting he'll probably wrestle Randy Orton based off what happened.
Where's John Cena when you need him? Let's go, Cena!
Like I told you, I'll take Baron Corbin. I'm fine with that.
You were supposed to say Cena sucks.
He kind of does suck.
I said, let's go, Cena.
Oh, he does suck. Yeah, Cena
Let's
sucks.
go, Cena.
Yeah, Cena sucks.
Yeah. That was your line there.
He does suck, but...
he's tremendous. He's way better than Baron Corbin.
At promos. That's about it, though. In the wrestling...
And wrestling.
No, I'll take Corbin.
And look, and overall awesomeness, cool factor, you can't see me factor, five knuckle shuffling, thugonomics doctorates. He's got it all.
I think the end of days is a lot better than the FU. No question.
Attitude adjustment, John.
Adjustment.
Get with the times, okay? Well, I don't want to see Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle, but it looks like we're headed down that road. I know we thought they were going to change it, but I don't think they will. Thankfully, we're getting Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe on Raw, which was a lot of fun. Kurt Angle AJ didn't happen on SmackDown. Maybe they'll do a rematch on SmackDown this week. Hopefully we get some good Kurt Angle matches. Wouldn't Brock be fun? Could we get Brock and Angle on Raw Monday? That'd be sweet. Just like end it. Just be like, yeah, Brock Angle, Raw Monday night. Cool. And then Angle just gets obliterated and he doesn't even make it to WrestleMania. That's how you should end it. Just say, just cancel the match. That'd be cool, right? If this whole thing was just a way to get Brock more over. So Kurt and Brock have like a real match. It's like 5 minutes. Kurt gets to get in there one more time with Brock. Brock beats him up, hits him with a couple F5s, and then leaves Kurt laying, and that's how Kurt ends his career. That's a better ending to your career than wrestling Baron Corbin.
I'd rather see him wrestle Shelton Benjamin, have a competitive match, then have Brock run in, hit one F5, because he doesn't need to kill him with Germans and F5s, just one. And that's enough, I think.
To end the career?
Well, just
no Mania match?
To make him question if he could show up, and he'll probably be selling it, right? I think he still has the match, but he loses to Corbin because Brock hurt him.
I think it would be fun if Brock and Angle have one last interaction on Raw Monday night.
Of course, but I think he needs to wrestle Shelton Benjamin, though.
Highly unlikely, though, right?
He should, like Raw or SmackDown. I'd rather see that, honestly, than him against Randy or AJ. Though I feel Randy has to happen off of what we just saw.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a lot of history there with Randy and Kurt.
Okay, but again, we're talking about Randy Orton, who's super lazy. Do you think Randy Orton, a SmackDown wrestler, is going to make the extra trip on a Monday night to be on Raw to wrestle a match against Kurt Angle? Do you really think Lazy Randall will show up on a Monday?
It'd have to be a SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can happen.
Well, maybe AJ will show up on a Monday because AJ works hard, and he can wrestle Kurt, and then Randy will wrestle him on a Tuesday. Why are we watching Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania? Why, again, are we having this match? Finn Balor beat Jinder and Bobby in a 2-on-1 match to get this shot at Bobby. Who cares? This is not a WrestleMania match. This is a Raw match. This has been a Raw match several times now.
I could easily see this being on the pre-show. I mean, it's just a match to put the IC title on WrestleMania because they need all the championships on the card, right? So
this type of match makes you feel bad for the Intercontinental title. It's got no respect.
We've seen this over the years. I mean, The Miz versus Wade Barrett was a WrestleMania match for the IC title.
Miz versus Shane McMahon is going to be a WrestleMania match.
But they added a cool step. I'm really happy about it.
It's Falls Count Anywhere now, right?
And there's going to be a bunch of wrestlers by the looks of it.
Yes, because Miz, which was a great moment on SmackDown. I thought this was beautiful. Miz cuts a promo, talks about his match with Shane and how much he wants to hurt him because he put his hands on his father. And he says, falls count anywhere. And then Shane shows up with security. And then he also has Sanity, all three of them, Shelton Benjamin, and Primo Colon, which was great. I was like, what's Primo doing here? Primo's on TV? I'd much rather watch Primo versus Shane McMahon than Miz, but, whatever. See, that's the other thing about WWE, the misuse of talent. They have a talented wrestler like Primo Colon just sitting on the sidelines doing absolutely nothing. And when you see him, you're like, Primo! And then he's just a goon. So Shane says he loves the footage of him beating up the Miz in his hometown and beating up Miz's father. He thinks it's awesome. Miz tries to fight through the security, but he struggles quite a bit. He finally does get through the security guards. He tries to fight through the jobber wrestlers, but he can't quite do it, and he can't get to Shane McMahon. They stop him. Which is great because Ronda Rousey, you put the same security guards in front of Ronda, she's smashing them, tossing them aside, boom, 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 boom. Miz, these security guards are getting over on the Miz. I thought that was beautiful. I was like, yeah, that's about right. That seems correct.
Except the wrestlers in the end, they kind of put up a good fight against the Miz.
Yeah, they won.
No, the Miz won in the end.
Did he though? He never got the Shane.
He didn't get the Shane, but he was able to fight them off in a sense where they didn't really were standing. He was standing still. It's just he didn't get the Shane. That's it.
Yeah. Don't care about this match. Miz didn't look strong. I hope Shane wins.
Well, it's Falls Count Anywhere, so now Shane can do all the crazy stuff that he does in matches.
Oh, yeah. So it might be more interesting because Shane will do some sort of crazy bump.
He does a crazy jump off the top of the stage at WrestleMania. That's all you need.
Yeah, he'll probably do that. All right. Two people are going to be wrestling at WrestleMania that have no business being at WrestleMania. And I will address that when we come back. It is Wrestling Uncensored right here on TSN 690.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Aaron Schick, and you listen to the Wrestling Uncensored.
All right, welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He's Johnny North. We're here on TSN 690 every Saturday night talking professional wrestling. WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. We will be live on YouTube right after WrestleMania next Sunday. I'll also be live on YouTube after NXT TakeOver and the New Japan Ring of Honor G1 Supercard that'll take place on Saturday. So it's a whole slew of YouTube post shows going down next weekend, WrestleMania weekend. The Saturday Night Live guys, Colin, Jost, and Michael Che, are officially in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Braun Strowman was interviewed this week, and he's not happy about it. Alexa Bliss hosted Moment of Bliss. Michael Che and Colin Jost appeared on the screen. Braun challenged them to enter the Andre Battle Royal. And the guys are like, no, no, no. And then Braun's like, hey, Alexa, can you make this official? I want these guys to get these hands in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And she's like, yeah, okay, cool. You guys are in the Battle Royal. And he's like, yeah, you guys are going to get these hands. I can't believe I'm feuding with you two jabronis. I had to tag team with a kid last year. I'm a serious wrestler. What's going on here? Sorry, I lost myself in that Braun Strowman.
The thing I wonder is, how long can they stay in the Battle Royal where it'll make sense all the way to the end?
2 seconds.
Well, that's it, though. But Braun's going to last the rest of the way through. And
well, they roll under the ring. You know, they roll under the bottom rope. They hide under the ring. They run around. You know, there are ways to hide in a Battle Royal.
Because that's the main feud right now, is them against Braun. And then everything else doesn't really matter in this Battle Royal. It's just guys filling up space, and that's it.
Like Kevin Owens.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the case, but we did drop a match.
Can you believe it? Can you believe that Colin Jost and Michael Che have a more prominent role at WrestleMania than Kevin Owens?
It's sad.
It's pathetic.
It shouldn't be that way.
Oh, I'm disgusted with this. This is horrible. Who cares about these guys? I don't watch Saturday Night Live. Nobody watches Saturday Night Live. Who are these guys? No one knows these guys. Where's Norm Macdonald when you need him?
Well, we're living the past when we talk about SNL. And there's still time for them to make more matches for WrestleMania.
I want a real celebrity at WrestleMania. There's no real celebrities at WrestleMania. Whatever happened to getting cool people at Mania? Mike Tyson.
They ran out of cool people.
Aki Bono.
Ronda used to be, and then she joined the show.
The Rock. Hulk Hogan. Hogan will probably be there.
Probably.
Stone Cold. You know what they should do at WrestleMania every year? What they did at WrestleMania 30.
Oh, The Rock, Austin, and Hogan?
They just need to have Mount Rushmore show up every Mania to just say hi to the fans, do a little promo, and everybody goes home happy. They just need to have a storyline that goes from year to year between Hogan, Rock, and Austin. One year Hogan hits everybody, knocks them all down, he stands tall. The next year Austin does. The year after The Rock does. They need to do that every WrestleMania from now until forever.
Well, they do special moments. Remember the one they had in Texas where they had Austin and I think Shawn come out?
And Mick Foley.
Well, whatever. That makes sense. But the Texas guys came out.
Wasn't Mick Foley there?
He was there, but he was just kind of there. They just need someone. I don't know why, but just to come out and do something, For some manias, they do that. Just not all of them. I guess a lot of them don't want to travel to Jersey.
Well, they should. They should pay them enough to make it worth their while. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they're going to have a bunch of run-ins and shenanigans in the Triple H Batista match.
I mean, you could get Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan. The Rock might be tricky, but you can get Austin and Hogan, right? For the right price, you can get those guys.
I think Hogan, yeah. Austin, I don't know. I think Austin, he's happy doing what he's doing.
I think creatively it has to make sense for Austin.
He got hurt last time, too, when he did that Texas thing, didn't he?
Maybe.
So I don't know if he'd be too keen about doing that again.
Well, I like seeing them in the ring together just talking. That was good. They were replaying that on the network this week, and I thought, yeah, we need to do more of that. That was fun.
There's always great WrestleMania moments. It's just the problem is that's one in many done throughout the whole 7 hours, and they don't justify 7 hours.
And the dudes from Saturday Night Live are not going to be that WrestleMania moment. That is a guarantee.
Maybe you feel like SNL, I guess, right now. Maybe you like that, but nah, not me.
What's the crossover, you figure, between SNL fans and WWE fans?
I think it's dropped considerably now because it's not the same audience when you think about it, but I guess they feel there's a connection. Or they probably want a lot of their stars to host SNL, right? So they're trying to put a good relationship together.
It's not happening.
Well, do they have anyone that could really host?
Didn't Ronda Rousey host at one point?
I feel Cena hosted recently, didn't he?
I thought Ronda did at one point and it was bad.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Triple H announced he's putting his career on the line against Batista. He cut a promo. He struggled with removing an envelope from his jacket. Did you notice that, Triple H? I can't quite get this this envelope stuck in my this envelope's getting over on me. Oh no. I'm gonna bury you, envelope. This envelope never drew a dime. It has a stack of dimes neck, though.
No, what he did was he distracted the audience by talking about Batista saying, "Give me what I want," by kind of mocking Batista for saying that.
Yeah.
I think it kind of worked.
Everybody's mocking Batista for saying that. Have you noticed that Batista, no matter how serious he tries to be, always winds up being so ridiculously silly that he becomes a human meme? The guy is a meme. Like, Blue-tista. And he gets so mad. That's the other thing. Like, the internet attacks him, and then he fights back and he pouts, you know? It's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch Batista just struggle with people making fun of him. Give me what I want! What was that? That will live forever in infamy as the Batista give me what I want promo. People will be making fun of that forever. Good job, Batista. Blue-tista. Boo-tista.
That's the only thing we're missing from Raw this week is that we're not going to get another Triple H Batista confrontation. We kind of need that. It's nice we got one, and Triple H talks about it. Cool, but I would like another one.
He's not going to be on Raw?
I don't think so. He's not scheduled.
He is barely showing up for this match.
Maybe we'll get it via satellite.
Does he want to do this?
Oh, yeah. But at Mania, does he want to be on the road all the time? Heck no.
A couple times. He did one promo in person, one promo via satellite. Are we going to get another via satellite promo this week at least? Something? Because he hasn't really put much into this. He wasn't on Raw this week in any way. Triple H was there talking again. And he says Batista quit because he couldn't beat John Cena. And he's got a letter, the letter that he couldn't remove, the envelope there. He said, it's Batista's request for the match. He says he wants it to be for my career, and that's fine. I'll put my career on the line. So obviously Triple H is going to win. We knew Triple H was going to win before, but now, I mean, there's no doubt.
Well, he's going to cheat like crazy. That's Triple H. Like,
Whatever.
Batista's right in all this, by the way, that Triple H is like a horrible human being. He is a horrible human being.
No, don't say that. That's your future boss. Show some respect.
Hey, look who masterminded the whole Survivor Series screw job. That was all Triple H. He put that idea together. Like,
look, it wasn't me. Brett screwed Brett. He didn't want to play ball. We had to do what we had to do.
He's
hey,
evil.
look, I just put the idea out there, okay? It was Vince's move to do it, and Sean did it, and the referee, it wasn't me, it was China, China's fault, blame her,
It's funny how Batista is supposed to be the heel when he really isn't when you think about it.
Yeah, but he is, though, because he does quit, he is a big baby, he is a big doofus, I mean, come on, he is the heel. I'm on Team Triple H on this one. I want Triple H to win. I don't want to see Batista. I agree with a lot of what Triple H is saying. Like, I agree with some of the stuff Batista's saying, sure. Is Triple H in it for himself? Of course. Is he an egomaniac? Definitely. But, you know, as Triple H, I know who he is. Batista, it's just ridiculous. That nose ring, I mean, come on, dude. Who are you? Who are you, Dave Batista? He's a ridiculous man. I do not take him seriously. I have way more respect for Triple H, for Paul Levesque, than I do for Dave Batista.
You clearly didn't see Batista's boxing training for this match, did you?
Oh, yeah. Batista's a great MMA fighter. He's 1-0.
Yep.
He's terrible. Terrible. There's a reason why he didn't fight again after he beat that tin can that they put in front of him. Because he barely made it out alive.
It was fun, though.
He won, but just barely, in a fight where he should have destroyed, you know? If you don't destroy that guy, you have no business ever fighting again.
And never did.
And he never did. He's like, maybe movies. And luckily, that worked for him.
Yeah, you try.
Yep. Something worked. Something worked for Batista. Wasn't wrestling, that's for sure.
Wow, he did main event a couple WrestleManias.
He's a terrible wrestler. He's
Great.
never been good in the ring.
Great look, though. Fantastic look.
Fantastic look.
Yeah.
Few people in the history of the business have ever looked better than him, but few people in the history of the business have ever looked better than Lex Luger.
Bobby Lashley's up there.
Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar. Although, wait, Brock Lesnar's a good wrestler.
He's looked better in the past.
Well, he's on the USADA testing now, man. He's
Shame.
on the drug testing for the UFC. How good can you expect Brock to look? He's 41 years old.
42 now, no? Or
Is he?
Yeah.
Come on, man. How jacked can he be? No, he's just 41. Stop
Okay.
aging Brock.
Stop aging.
He'll be 42 in July. Better wish him a happy birthday. Like he cares. Brock doesn't care about your birthday wishes.
Hey, he's on Raw, man. He cares. Like, he's back to steal the show.
Yeah, sure. Is he going to lose to Seth Rollins next week?
I feel like he is, but it's going to be because the Shield's going to win, right? The Shield's going to come out and help him win, I think.
Boo.
You got to get some happy endings here.
I thought we were done with Dean Ambrose. I thought Dean Ambrose was written off a couple weeks ago when Drew McIntyre kicked his head in that guardrail thing.
It would have made sense, right? But nope. He came back.
Came back because, you know why he came back?
Why?
Because they had time to fill.
That makes sense.
They had nothing to do on Raw. What really happened on Raw this week, match-wise? What did they really do?
That ridiculous gauntlet against the Riot Squad.
Yeah, they had a beat the clock where Ronda beat Sarah Logan in 1 25 seconds. So then you knew that the matches after had to be shorter than 1 25 seconds.
Right.
Wasn't really much of a wrestling match. You have 90 seconds to wrestle. 85 seconds.
But there was going to be two of them.
What do you mean?
Well, because Charlotte had to wrestle and then Becky had to wrestle.
So Charlotte wrestles Ruby Riott, and then 1 25 expires on the clock, and the match isn't over.
Right.
And then Becky's wrestles Liv Morgan, and she manages to beat Liv Morgan in 1 minute and 18 seconds. So Becky wins the Beat the Clock challenge, and Ronda's shocked. This was all to illustrate that Ronda's super good at winning matches fast because she had some of the fastest finishes in the UFC. So they're trying to illustrate that point to you. And then, Becky's actually better at it. Here, she wins the Beat the Clock. You think Ronda's going to be the winner of the challenge, but it's really Becky. Which makes me wonder, Ronda didn't win. Becky won. What does that mean for Mania?
I still think Becky wins, though.
I don't know. I could see Ronda winning. We'll give our official predictions on the Mania preview show, which will be next week. Next week's episode of Wrestling Uncensored will be the WrestleMania preview show. That's big. WrestleMania 35.
Well, whether I like it or not, on length, WrestleMania is still the biggest show of the year when you think about it.
That's it.
So,
and no matter how long WrestleMania is, our preview show is still an hour.
Is it?
Oh, maybe it'll be a little longer. But
okay.
It'll be roughly an hour. So we'll try to get through it all. There's so much going on in the WWE. Your man Elias was cutting promos from Times Square on Raw this week. They're just filling time.
He got robbed.
Yeah. Yeah, he got robbed. That was pretty good. And Drew McIntyre wrestled Dean Ambrose in a last man standing match. Dean Ambrose just appeared backstage. And he was like, hey, Drew McIntyre, let's wrestle. And Drew McIntyre's like, okay, cool. Drew McIntyre beat Dean Ambrose again. Is Dean Ambrose leaving the WWE or what? Can we get rid of him already? Why is he still around? Is he going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
Does he need to be? I don't think so.
They need bodies. He's a name.
He's going to get involved in either Roman's match, probably Seth's match. Doesn't really need to be in the Battle Royal.
I think him getting involved in Roman's match would make way more sense because Roman's wrestling Drew, and that's who Dean has been feuding with.
Yeah, but Roman doesn't need help to win matches. And it's Roman's first match back, really. First singles match back from his injury.
Yeah.
I can't see him losing. It sucks, but he's not going to lose.
But Roman has not come back being booked as strongly as he was prior to the leukemia.
Right. Which is why he's going to win.
They're trying to make him sympathetic. He's taking beatings. He used to just take everybody out. 10 guys, Roman would take them all out and stand tall. This week on Raw, he had a little promo with Drew McIntyre. Roman accepted the challenge, attacked Drew McIntyre first. Roman hit first.
Because it got personal. Talked about his family.
Talked about Roman's family. Roman took exception, attacked Drew. But Drew fought back, winds up hitting his finisher, the Claymore kick on Roman, and leaves Roman laying, which is uncharacteristic for the Roman Reigns character, right? Like, that's not usually how Roman is booked, where he's left laying by one man. If you're going to leave Roman laying in the past, you have to be more than one dude on Roman.
Well, it's just to build up Drew McIntyre. That's all it really does.
For Roman to knock him down at WrestleMania, but maybe with some help. Not saying Drew won't have some help, too. He's had Jinder with him, right? Elias, Bobby Lashley.
Right.
He's had some friends along the way. Dolph Ziggler may come back. Baron Corbin. But I could see Dean Ambrose being there to help Roman win. Because Roman now, the character that they're portraying, a little more sympathetic, a little less Superman, a little bit more beatable.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. It just, I feel they're making you feel he's weak, so at Mania he's going to come back and get the win kind of out of nowhere because he has a spear. He can just hit that and it's over.
And that would be fine too.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Not a match I'm particularly excited about for WrestleMania. But it will be Roman's first one-on-one match since his return.
That's right.
That's cool.
And it's a match you can easily put in between like one of the big title matches where you can kind of settle the crowd down a bit and like, well, Roman's there. People can just cheer for him or react to him just because he's there.
Yeah. Roman's a babyface right now. Hard to boo the guy.
Compared to years past, yeah.
No real reason to either. You know, he's not taking up the top of the card. He's just kind of there doing his thing, having his matches, working his little program with Drew McIntyre. It's not like they're really stacking the show with Roman Reigns where you're just kind of sick of him. When you see him, you're like, all right, let's go, Roman. Do your thing.
Which is why I think Seth is probably going to win the championship. They're just going to let Seth have his reign.
Yeah, that might happen. I could see Roman being moved off the brand. I'd like to separate Roman and Seth. You know, just separate the Shield. Don't have them together at all. Freshen things up a little bit for both guys.
Well, I think switch the championships. Not so much Roman, but yeah.
Sure. Either way. Put the Universal title with Seth Rollins on SmackDown and bring Daniel Bryan the WWE title to Raw.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
I think that's the move. I think that's the best move that they could possibly make in this draft. I think that's the most important move that they need to make, really.
Yeah, without question.
You know, I think Becky could be the champion on Raw or SmackDown. Charlotte Flair, same deal.
Right, yeah.
I think the most important thing would be to switch the WWE title over to Raw. I think Daniel Bryan should be the focal point of Monday Night Raw.
I could see that, but I could also see Kofi going to Raw too, though.
They could both go to Raw. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine as well. Will there be a SmackDown tag team title match at WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, a multi-man, like The Bar,
right?
The Usos, who are the champions.
Yep.
Woods and Big E.
Yep.
Rusev and Nakamura.
I'd throw the Hardys, but yeah, sure. I mean,
okay,
whatever.
maybe the Hardys too. How about a gauntlet match? Have we had enough of those?
Well, how about just a tag team turmoil match where it's just, you know, kind of like a gauntlet, but it's just everyone can be in it, you know?
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
What's tag team turmoil?
It's pretty much just starts off with one team, and then just another team kind of keeps going like a gauntlet.
After a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So multi-teams could be in the match at once?
No, like, you'd set up like this, it'd be like a gauntlet, where it'd just be like that.
No gauntlets. Let's just have them all in the match at once.
All right.
Tornado tag. Elimination.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
That'd be fun, right?
There's a lot of teams, though, on SmackDown. On Raw, I feel like it's going to be Revival against Ricochet and Black, but could be wrong.
Yeah, Ricochet and Aleister Black keep beating the Revival in non-title matches. You would think they'd get a title shot at some point. I don't really know where they're going there with that, but that could be a match easily added to the WrestleMania show. I think we'll probably have a SmackDown Tag Team title match. The women's tag team titles made official this week. It'll be Bayley and Sasha, exactly what I predicted last week. I said Bayley and Sasha will be defending against Beth Phoenix and Natalya, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, the Iconics, and Nia Jax and Tamina. Fatal 4-way for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. I love that match. I think that's fantastic.
I don't know if I love the match, but I get why they're doing it. It makes sense. A team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, a Legends team. That seems like a fun kind of match. I don't know how good it's going to be because I feel like there's a lot of meshing of styles that don't really mesh that well, but we'll see what happens. I hope they keep it to 2 teams at a time, not the whole 4-team kind of thing, because that could be really messy, but wait and see.
I will admit that I'm mostly excited for this match because it'll be Beth Phoenix's first match back.
That's the really only appealing thing to this.
I'm a big Beth Phoenix fan.
It'd be cool if it comes down to them, because we don't even know if this is elimination, right? But if it is elimination, I'd love to see it come
Probably
down.
not. It's WrestleMania, one fall to a finish to keep things moving.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see them against like Sasha and Bayley. That's really what I want to see. I wish it was actually just that.
Yeah, I do too. Maybe we'll get that at the next pay-per-view.
Well, we'll see how long Beth keeps going, right?
I don't think it's one and done. I don't know if you saw, but there was a picture that Beth, or maybe Natty posted. Natty and Beth were training in the ring, getting some help with a legend, Edge, the Rated R superstar, Beth Phoenix's husband. But Edge was like in the ring, like you could see he was sweaty. So Edge was in a ring this week, doing wrestling things with Beth and Natty. Doesn't mean he could wrestle. I'm just saying Edge was in a ring this week with his wife Beth Phoenix and Natty, helping them prepare for their match, which I thought was pretty cool.
I thought you were going to say Brett, but that's still good, Edge.
Speaking of Brett and the Anvil officially going into the WWE Hall of Fame as the Hart Foundation.
I'm glad because I thought they weren't going to make it because Harlem Heat's in it this year.
Yeah, I thought they were only going to do one tag team. They're doing another. Brett and the Anvil. And then you saw Natty as they came back from showing that video package. She was crying in the ring there. Nice emotional moment there for Beth and Natty. The Hart Foundation, one of the greatest tag teams in the history of the wrestling business. One of my favorites for sure.
A little disappointed Jimmy Hart's not going to be inducted as well because he was a great part of the team.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that they don't appreciate stuff like that. Harlem Heat, Sherry doesn't get inducted again.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame.
I don't know what their policy is on managers with the tag teams or whatever, but you know, Jim the Anvil Neidhart is going into the Hall of Fame for the first time. This will be Brett's second induction, and I'm just happy as a Bret Hart fan that I get to see Bret Hart speak at a WWE Hall of Fame ceremony.
Well, they're going to cut him, though, for sure.
Oh, whatever. They can't cut him live. I mean, those things go on and on. I love watching Bret Hart talk, especially about the old days and Jim Neidhart. It's going to be very emotional. I know a lot of the Hart family is going to be there. A lot of tears will be shed in that room and maybe in my living room, too, while I'm watching it. It's hard not to. So watch that stuff. You know, Bret Hart, he starts getting emotional. I get emotional. Everybody cries. What are you going to do?
Now, this year, they're not going to have, like, inductors, though. Like, they're just going to have the inductees. That's it, right? Like, no one's really introducing. Because they haven't announced anything, right?
Oh, well, that's not how they do it.
Well, I think this is how they do it this year to cut time, right? Because the people that would introduce them would take forever, right? So,
No. You have to have somebody induct you. That's how Hall of Fames work. Somebody says a speech about you, and then you accept.
Right?
No. No. They haven't announced it, though. Who's inducting who?
They're not doing it, man.
I think they are. They're just it'll be a surprise. You'll find out the night of. Or maybe the week of. Maybe we'll find out this week.
I'd be surprised if they did that.
No, I think everybody's going to get inducted. I'd make a bet.
I think you'd lose that bet.
Yeah? Care to make it interesting?
Oh, wow. We're doing this again?
Yeah.
Wow. You're going to lose this bet, my friend.
How much?
We'll do 20 again.
Let's do it.
All right.
There will be people inducting the people at the Hall of Fame.
All right.
Done.
Done.
Bet made official. John's going to lose again to me. That's how Hall of Fames work. They're not going to change it this year.
Yeah, but they announced the people that they do it. Now they haven't announced anything. They're not going to do it.
They're going to do it. We'll find out. At the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday night, right?
Yeah, you got like a week to figure this out. Wow.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Big time. All right, Johnny North. We are overtime once again, as we are. So much going on in the WWE. I think we pretty much got to everything that happened, all the major news this week. But with WrestleMania season here, man, there's just so much happening.
Well, it's official. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. That will happen at WrestleMania.
Right? That was news this week. And that was pretty much it. Kofi Mania running wild.
Yep.
Kofi Mania.
13 matches announced.
Last week on the show I said, after Kofi went through the gauntlet, we've seen a lot of gauntlet matches recently. No more gauntlet. And what did they do? They gave us a tag team gauntlet on SmackDown. You think we're going to get another gauntlet match this week on Raw or SmackDown, or have we had our fill for the time being?
I could see one on WrestleMania with the tag teams. It makes a lot of sense.
It does, because they've just been doing it. You know what I really like, pal? A gauntlet match. Yeah. Johnny North, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring, and will it be a gauntlet match?
Well, next match will be May 4th at Paradox Theater. Next time I'll be in the ring is April 14th. I'll be appearing at the Torture Chamber Show, 4325 Industrial Boulevard. Bell time is 2 p.m. for that one.
All right. Follow him on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. Follow him on Twitter at North Genesis. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. Go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. YouTube.com/RingsideReport.net. YouTube.com/RingsideReport. DOTNET. We will be on right after the G1 Supercard and the NXT TakeOver show on Saturday, next Saturday, and on YouTube right after WrestleMania. Johnny North and myself will recap WrestleMania live on YouTube. So you'll be able to see us, hear us, and talk to us by subscribing to our YouTube channel right now.
Highly interactive.
Always. Big thanks to Jimmy and Marco for helping us out. Big thanks to you for listening. For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.